Okay, well, since it has been coming up a fair bit, um, okay, the reason why I didn't click for vampire is because it is about a big, massive internal struggle. Like the character or whoever you set up, they don't really have a fixed kind of outlook on the world. It'll change because they're turned into vampires and whatnot. But I don't regret doing all this tabletop stuff because it's actually helped me understand like what I really, really want. And I want legitimate escapism. See, a lot of the pulps um, were super, like how to put this? They had different genres. Some maybe were more downtrodden than others, but in general, a lot of the pulpy sci-fi was over the top, uh, kind of optimistic because the time when a lot of the pulps were written, it was the Depression era. People wanted to escape from the mundane drudgery of their regular lives. And that's the reason why a lot of the pulps had a more bright and optimistic kind of, it's on the tin. Did that mean all of them did? Like, no. There was other things where, there's some harsher stuff like, the shadow and everything. But the pulps did give people the option. Nowadays, most modern stuff is a subversion of a subversion, and there's people out there that genuinely enjoy that. They get their cathartic motivation from, seeing characters that do struggle with everyday things. But that's what real life is. Like, I want to escape that struggle for a little bit, and that's why I write Uplift Protocol. A lot of times, I'm trying to understand why some friends do enjoy the things that they do. But it's just kind of like how I have a disconnect with Batman and how they have a disconnect with Superman. It's probably just something we're not going to be able to fully agree on. Um, I'm going to even link again the whole narrative tension thing, because how I get my narrative tension is from how will the characters escape, how will they overcome. My narrative tension doesn't come from like they have the capability that they're in mortal danger, they're gonna die. Which is also a difference in how a lot of modern storytelling approaches things. Where yes, the gods of the world, everybody's on the chopping block, and some people do get their tension from me being like, okay, which character's gonna get out of that mess? Which character's gonna legitimately survive? In Uplift Protocol, I kind of gloss over some types of death because to me, when I'm looking at any kind of horror element, I don't go into great detail. The human mind can come up with oopsie enough stuff on its own without me adding to it. So that's why certain stuff is kind of glossed over a bit. Because to showcase, an ultimate evil trying to ransack a noble, bright, setting, that evil has to be truly dark, and then to me, a truly dark evil would try to harm children or babies. Like, they'll immediately go for the most innocent and also the stuff that's, the next generation to be raised up and to try to do, good things. And even with the aspirational, whenever I see Superman, the iconic Superman, not Simp Man and Lois, because that's what it is, that's Simp Man and Lois, the actual Superman makes me feel like I have to try to be better than what I am. I don't always succeed, but I strive to be better. I strive to do better. Even if I have unworthy thoughts of like, I don't want to be, like, say at work today, I don't want to fucking work today. Like, no, like I keep thinking to myself, okay, what would Superman or Clark Kent do? They would just get their job done, do it to the best of their ability, and go home and, help their family. That's what I see when I look at Superman. Some, just like with the Professor Geeks video, like when they see Paragons just remind them of their own shortcomings and they reject them. It's like, yes, people have their shortcomings, they have their faults, they have their all that stuff, but the aspirational, usually, depending on how you take it, the aspirational helps uplift you and remind you like, hey, I should be better, I should try more, I should try harder, my standards should go higher. So that's like kind of like the back and forth disconnect sometimes people have. It's like when you lower Superman to Snyder or Simpman and Lois level, you're taking away the aspirational that would showcase people like, hey, try harder, go farther. Even if you don't have the skills for it, it's there as kind of like a motivator to be like, you know what? Even if you don't have wings, you might as well try to fly. And that part's from Babylon 5, when Delenn was listening to Sheridan's message. See, that's the thing that Babylon 5 gets right. It does have aspirational aspects. It does have more pessimistic aspects, but it manages to bring in people that are like me versus people that see things from a glass half full perspective, or if they want to see it from a more realistic standpoint. But me, when I watch Babylon 5, I mostly key on the more positive aspects, groups of people coming together to defeat a great evil. That sort of thing. Like, do I see that they have their flaws? Yes. But I appreciate the fact that Babylon 5 concentrates on the hero's virtues just as much, which a lot of modern stuff is missing. It's probably also the reason why, like, you know what, no matter what your point of view is, even if you take a look at Uplift Protocol, I'm pretty thankful that you did. Will I eventually add in other things later after I complete the series? Yes, because right now I'm more in the mindset of keep writing, keep writing, keep writing, and the editing will come later as you get more stuff in the toolbox. But that's the big overall thing. It's like, you see people worrying about, like, oh, is this good enough? It's like, who cares if and nobody else enjoys it? If you enjoy it, then put it out. Eventually you'll attract some eyeballs, but that's the reason why I'm putting stuff out the way I am right now, is because one, it keeps me motivated. Two, it keeps me in a habit of writing and finding stuff I can enjoy. Three, it forces me to maintain like a goal, because when you're writing, you have to maintain some sort of goal. Otherwise, your stuff will be in whip mode forever and you'll never put it out. It's just like the mindset of like, oh, I'll protect you manuscript versus kick it out the door, fly bitch. You're never going to find out who might catch on to what if you never release it. If you never release your aspirational hero archetype to the world, you won't know who will pick up on it. You won't know who's affected by what until you put something out there. Put it out there. Because Prof is right. There's far too much anti-hero in the world right now. There's too much, kind of like the Walking Phoenix Joker, where he's questioning everything in the world, but is he offering any solutions? No. Usually the aspirational does offer solutions, but it requires a person to dig deeper and basically put their better foot forward majority of the time. I know that's hard because, again, I fight my fucking wrath side 24/7. Because there's times where I go to work, I'm like, fuck this shit. I want to die. Because there's times where the depths of my emotion sinks that low. But then I keep thinking to myself, okay, again, what would Superman do in this situation? He turned those lemons into lemonade. Turn the better cheek. Try to have a smile rather than a frown. Because, real life is already crazy enough as it is. It really is. Like, you look out your door and the fear of sheeple is everywhere with those masks. And, not all of Florida wears the masks. There's quite a few people that just don't give a shit, and that's fine. Just, my advice, just wash your hands. Like, again, my grandmother hasn't caught any major bug for like the past 2 years. Even if with my allergies, like, I don't go over there even if I'm suffering from a lot of allergies, because it could be just regular allergies or it could be like just the common cold. But even a common cold to a 90-plus-year-old will, if she coughs way too damn much, like with a chest cold, that can hurt her a lot more than it can hurt me. So that's all I think about with that. And, yeah, in real life, the misadventure is usually filled with everyday mundane activities where there might be a few bright spots to help, cheer things along. But that's all life is right now. It's like you do your 9 to 5, and then it's like, what do you have to escape to? if you're in a healthy marriage, you usually have your spouse and kids to rely on, and even to give you like an overall purpose. I mean, to me, postmodern basically rips away people's purpose. That's just how I see it. How about you guys? I don't even know below. I guess I could put this in reader adventures and topics and real life versus optimism. I guess that's what I'll call this. So, see you later, everybody.